Abalone piccata with fried capers, haricots verts, and lemon. Abalone steaks, panko for breading, salt and pepper, lemon, capers, and fresh green beans.
First, we're gonna start by frying some capers. They're really delicious. Once you have them this way, you will not be able to resist them. When we make them in the kitchen for a dish, then we go to serve the dish, they're gone because everyone's eaten them. And then we have to do them all over again.
They're nice and crisp and salty, and they are addicting. They're like popcorn almost.
They're like popcorn. They're crispy and they kind of puff up.
So I love fried capers. They're really like crunchy, salty.
All right, so we're heating up to 350. And this splatters quite a bit. So when you're doing this at home, be very, very careful. I'm actually going to pour them into the spoon first so that you don't get the extra liquid from, from the brining liquid.
That would really make a mess.
And then you throw them in there. And see, it's kind of scary, but all you have to do is put it in there and then step back. And then we're letting them cook.
Oh, look at that, they're browning up.
They're browning up and they're puffing up. Letting them go a little further. And then they're done.
Wow.
All right, that's that. Here we have our fried capers for our little dish.
So now we're going to bread our abalone steaks with the panko. Put a little bit of salt, season it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper before I put it in the panko. Press it down in the panko so you get a nice even coating.
Now, do you season the panko as well?
No, I don't, but you can.
Okay.
Now, we're going to get a nice hot pan.
This is just a very light breading, so it can handle more heat.
Add some butter and a little bit of oil so the butter doesn't burn as bad. You don't want the butter to burn because that'll just totally ruin the flavor.
Yeah, it's just bitter, awful sadness.
And you don't want to do that with your abalone steaks.
Sadness with abalone.
So I'm going to get that nice and hot. Almost smoking hot, wouldn't you say, Deborah?
Almost smoking hot, yes.
Now this recipe is very similar to the most basic recipe you can do with abalone steaks. Just the seasoning, the salt and pepper in the panko, in the butter and oil, brown right before you take it out of the pan, squeeze a little fresh lemon juice over it, and you're done. Simplest way you can do it.
It's how my grandfather used to make it.
Oh yeah, that's the way a lot of people out here on the West Coast used to have abalone. But this is great with the capers and the fresh green beans. Okay, that looks about right. Let's put in the abalone steak now. Now, don't be afraid to let the steaks brown. You want your coating to get nice and brown. You want to get that nice caramely flavor going. So those two sides, perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
Again, your pan is nice and hot. You don't have to worry about overcooking or undercooking because the pan is so hot, before you even worry about it like being overcooked, it's done.
It's done. Beautiful. Oh, that's lovely.
So now what do we do, Deborah?
Oh, now we're going to wipe the burnt stuff out.
Okay.
Throw in a little more butter and throw in our green beans. And these green beans have already been blanched, so they've been boiled for a short time and then shocked in cold water in order to retain their color and crispness. And that's it. So you're just kind of heating them up in the beautiful abalone pan.
Did you say these are done?
They are done.
Okay.
You can go ahead and put this on the plate.
Okay. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
It's perfect. Then you do like a little squeeze of lemon.
And don't forget the capers.
Sprinkle with a few little capers. Not too many because they're very salty. And again, you don't ever want to overpower abalone as it's such a delicate flavor that it has.
The Abalone Picatta looks really great, Deborah. What kind of wine would you choose for this?
I would serve a bone-dry German Riesling.